Hello, beautiful, 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 beautiful tribe. Thank you so much for answering the call to this circle and this healing. If you haven't met me before, my name is Karila, and I'm from the Starlight Temple. And Starlight does all sorts of courses and ceremonies that are mainly channeled, because I am a channel. That are about using channel tools and guidance to help our ascension, to help our evolution, to help us live more in alignment. And I am very, 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 very excited to be here this evening, because this evening is one of the few healings that I'm going to be holding this year. I've actually been guided not to do so much healing this year and take a new direction. And the journey that I've had personally towards this healing has been so profound and so beautiful. And the subject of people pleasing is a subject that means an awful lot to me, because I was a chronic people pleaser. So managed to really do that one well. And it really, it was a really big thing in my life. And then I got an opportunity to start changing it, mainly from guidance and some of the energy tools that I will be sharing with you this evening and will be co-creating with this evening. And it's been a journey that has really been like living a different human experience, because I was so entrenched in people pleasing that it's literally been like having a different human experience than the one I was having. And I feel very, very passionate about how important it is that people understand people pleasing and what you're actually doing energetically, because when you understand that, you're not gonna people please as readily, like you're just not. And so part of this webinar, the bit that I'm recording, is about sharing, just understanding people pleasing from an energetic point of view, from a channeled point of view, from a shadow work point of view. We're going to start with a meditation. And so it's my guide's version of Solara and Ra's daily practice, and it is the perfect way to prepare your energy for shadow healing, alchemy, light chamber work, which is what we're going to be doing. And so when you're ready, closing your eyes and feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Feeling a column of source light from the heart of the universe, pouring down into your energy field, instantly raising your vibration as this light travels down through you into the heart of Mother Earth. It bounces off the heart of Mother Earth and travels back up through you into the heart of Source, so that you are held in a two-way flow of love and light. And in this two-way flow of love and light, you experience your aura, the dance of colors and patterns of energy that are unique to you. Your aura is your spiritual vibrational fingerprint. There is no aura anywhere in the universe like your aura, and as your energy stretches out in all directions around you to the size that it wants to be for this healing, the chakras at the very top and very bottom of your aura open and fill your aura with gold and silver light from above and from the earth below. Your aura is sealed from top to bottom in white and golden light, so that only love and only light can enter into your energy. And a foot away from the edge of your aura, the violet, the emerald, the white, and the rainbow fires, and the golden flame wrap around your aura, so that any energy released from any direction can be instantly transmuted into love and light and sent wherever it is in the highest good for it to go. And knowing that you are divinely protected by these source fires, you can relax now in towards your center. And as you relax in towards your center, in towards your innocence, become more aware of being in your body. And from this awareness of being in your body, send a grounding cord of energy spiraling down through the different layers of the earth into the heart of Great Mother Gaia. And as you anchor into the love that Mother Earth has for you, as you feel this love rising up from the center of the earth up into your chakras, opening your chakras to the light and the love and the medicine that surrounds you. You feel the female, the male, the stillness and the unity, parts of your heart melting together, bringing you into the experience of the one heart. In this expanded heart experience, you feel your heart beating with the heartbeat of the earth, with the heartbeat of Source, with the cosmic rhythm. and upon this cosmic rhythm, you feel unconditional love flowing to, flowing through, flowing from, and flowing around you now. And in this overflow of unconditional love, you open your heart to this healing, choosing right here, right now, to gift yourself this healing for the meeting and the understanding and the releasing of this pattern. Is a way to reclaim more of your life force energy. And we, the guides that have gathered, star beings and those of the Lemuria, Aquaria lineage and the Rainbow Grandmothers, who sit in circle with you now. We would like you to begin this healing journey by remembering your life force energy. Opening up in your inner sense, in your inner sensory system, to what your life force energy is. Your life force energy is that which sparkles in your eyes. If ever you want to connect to your life force energy, imagine your eyes sparkling. And as you imagine your eyes sparkling with laughter, with joy, as you connect to you when you are happy, you when you are overflowing, you when you are aligned, you become aware of your life force energy. This that could be described as your sexual energy. This that is your spirit energy. The aspect that leaves you when you die. The energy that is the difference between the body being alive or being dead. This energy is the energy of your belief. It is your creational energy. Energy that you use to manifest, to create. And we say to you that this energy is absolutely the most precious resource that you have. We invite you to think now of the times when you are tired, when you do not have this energy, when you are flat, when you are in the polarity of sparkling eyes. We ask you to think of when you are tired and notice how you are so much less capable. How everything is more overwhelming and everything is less possible. Your life force energy is your capability. And the more that you have, the more that you nurture this energy, the more that you self-generate, the more you will be able to manifest, to create, and to receive, because it takes more energy to receive than it does to give. And this healing is about reclaiming your life force energy from a pattern that is causing you and all humans, for very few humans do not operate from this pattern. It is causing a drain, a loss of that precious resource that is your source force energy, your belief, your capability, your creational power. And we activate around you now a crystalline chamber of light that will be around your energy field for the duration of this healing, assisting you in the release of the pattern and the reclaiming of your life force energy. And this chamber will be assisting you through transmission of frequencies that help to disrupt and dissolve the miasms that cause this pattern that will be spoken of. And when you resonate with what is said, you can simply know that as you are resonating, the chamber of light is dissolving, so that you change on a habitual vibrational level as well as on a shadow level. And with great joy in our hearts, we invite you into the embrace. For this pattern, as with all of the patterns, comes from the unloved self. So receive, seize, enjoy the love. And the frequencies of stop, which we will also come onto, because this healing is stop people pleasing. Breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. eyes and coming in. I feel like we have to begin with a little bit of an understanding of how all of this guidance came through me. And so some of you will know that shadow work is a really big part of my path. And shadow work is working with the deep subconscious. And so our subconscious is part of how we create our reality. Our subconscious is called shadow because it's what we cannot see. So it's everything that we don't know about ourselves. And I like to describe it as like the attic, you know, where everything gets put. So stuff from childhood, ancestral stuff, collective consciousness and unconsciousness stuff, past life stuff. And very often when we are experiencing something in our life that feels like the opposite of what our consciousness wants. So, for example, we might really want to travel, and yet we keep not being able to travel. We keep ending up in situations where we can't travel. It's very often because a part of our shadow consciousness is manifesting from a place of polarity. And so our shadow has a fear of travel because an ancient ancestor went traveling and never returned. And that can be in your shadow, even though you have no recollection of it, and it can be stopping you from going off and traveling. And so what shadow work is about diving into the unconscious and finding those blocks and those things that are stopping you living the life you want and releasing them. And I've done many years of shadow work, and it's been phenomenal and amazing. And absolutely for shadow work is alchemy, which we're going to be doing. And then last year, Starlight's time for shadow is eclipse windows. And last year I was like, I didn't know what to do for the eclipse window. And I was like, you know what I really want to work on? I want to work on being tired, because I'm really tired. And my guides were just like, yeah, sure. There are 6 things that cause tiredness. Here you go. We'll do that. And it was very casual. And I thought it was going to be a little course. And literally working on tiredness was one of the best things I have ever done in years of self-work. Like now I cannot believe that I spent so many years being tired and not thinking to look at why I was tired. And people pleasing is one of the 6 patterns of tiredness that the guides mentioned when I first asked about it. And they said that people pleasing, when I first tuned in about it, they were like, yeah, people pleasing is one of the worst ones for humanity. And what that course did is it put me on a bit of a mission, because it made me realize that actually the inner energy fuel crisis is worse than the outer energy fuel crisis. And that, you know, most of us are walking around without our life force energy, or with very low life force energy, because we're running these patterns. And it's stopping us fulfilling our big dreams and our ascension, because we don't actually have the energy. And so my path kind of U-turned, and now this is like my favorite subject to be talking about this, just because I know from personal experience, but also from the big picture, that I can see how important it is that we stop running these patterns that we were essentially taught. We were taught to people please. You know, nobody in this circle must feel bad about the fact they were people please, because we were taught it in school, by our parents, by the generations before us. And so, in fact, we were told that like people pleasing made you good. And so, and you know, maybe in Pisces that was the case, because Pisces was very much about energy exchange. But we're not in Pisces anymore. And it's not okay anymore for us to be exchanging our life force energy and running on empty. And I just want to give you the example. So what my guide said about tiredness, they said that tiredness is the feeling of your life force energy being outside of your body. And when your life force energy is outside of your body, it can't self-generate and it dies. So what you are feeling when you're tired is your life, that miracle energy dying. That's what tiredness is on an energetic point of view. And so I just want you to close your eyes and imagine that you're in a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful forest. And really imagine with all of your senses, because your senses are how your life force energy come in. So just imagine that you're in a forest and you can hear the birds and you can smell the flowers or the pine, and you can feel the crunch of the leaves underneath your feet. And this forest is exceptionally beautiful, the way the light is coming through the trees and the butterflies. The beauty actually is the feeling of your life force energy coming into your body. That's what beauty is. And so I invite you to be in the beauty and feel your life force energy coming into your body, which it does in nature. And it's calming. You get that like, that feeling that you get when you're on a beautiful beach or in a beautiful forest. But just take this moment now to feel yourself, to feel what your body feels like. And now I want you to imagine being somewhere that drains your life force. The one I like to use is London Underground, but it's up to you. And so something that is anti-nature, or somewhere that actually makes you tired, to let your imagination lead you. And just as you are being in the forest through your senses, imagine being in this place. And notice what has happened to your posture as your life force drains. Notice what happens to your emotions. What happens to your sense of health. And to your overall vibration. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So can you feel the difference? Like, do write in and share. And there isn't any right or wrong. This is just an exploration space. But, you know, most of us, me included, were taught to walk around in option B, you know? And I'm sure that actually a lot of health problems and stuff are because we don't have enough life force energy in our body. Because when I do that exercise, in the forest, don't feel any aches or pains or physical problems. And as soon as my life force starts to drain away, suddenly there's the tightness in my back and the shadow of a headache and so on and so on and so on. And I believe that we have to start taking responsibility for these patterns that we are subconsciously running because we were taught them and because they're rooted in our shadow. And one of the most biggest ones is the people-pleasing pattern. And what just another little really cool trick, by the way, because I left you in the London Underground. So just close your eyes. Let's come out of London Underground. This one's a new thing. If you close your eyes and connect to your sacral chakra, which is the second chakra, when our life force energy is out of our body, this chakra rises, so it's higher up. And generally that's quite a good way that we live in our head and have a lot of stress, because this chakra is risen. And so just invite you right now just to imagine the chakra dropping, and dropping like right down deep into the pelvis. And it is literally just like a shift, a very subtle shift, similar to like when you shift something in a yoga position. It's done through intention. But as you drop it, your life force energy will come back into your body. And so you won't be in London Underground anymore, which is a really good thing. You can be here now. And so with the people-pleasing pattern, out of all of the guidance I received about these 6 patterns, understanding this pattern has made it impossible for me to people please. I sometimes do it unconsciously, and then I feel really tired and I look at why. And definitely I know some of you have already worked on these patterns, and I have, and it's worth working on them more than once because they're very entrenched. But why I wanted to do this particular pattern this evening is because, like I said, the people-pleasing one is more serious than the others. What you do energetically when you people please, according to my guides, is you put your life force energy into somebody else's shadow. And the reason that you feel tired is because in their shadow, your life force energy can't self-generate, and so it dies. And that's why you feel tired. But there's other things that are really important about this pattern. So when you people please, you put your life force energy into somebody else's shadow and you energize their shadow. And so if any of you have been in an unhealthy relationship dynamic, you know, that very popular term, empath and narcissist, that dynamic happens because, and gets worse and worse and worse, because in that dynamic, there is people pleasing going on, where somebody is putting, where person A is people pleasing person B, and they are putting their energy into that person's shadow, and that person's shadow is getting worse. And that's why the dynamic gets unhealthier and unhealthier and unhealthier. If you have seen a friend or been in the experience yourself of those relationships, when the person A becomes a shell of a person, literally, and you see or experience yourself becoming a shell of who you were, it's because so much of the life force energy is going into that other person's shadow. Not only do you energize their shadow, but your sexual energy is your receptive energy. And so you don't just energize their shadow, you also receive, before your life force energy dies, you receive their shadow. And this is why, again, I don't know if you've ever seen a friend that like started dating an alcoholic and then became an alcoholic. The people-pleasing pattern does that. I don't know if you've ever been dating someone that had anxiety and then developed anxiety when you didn't have it before. When you people please, you end up with other people's problems and other people's shadow, because your sexual energy is receptive. The guides went as far as to say that people pleasing, you know, there's so much people pleasing happening on the planet that we're also energizing the collective unconsciousness when we people please governments and systems and stuff like that. And so we're making shadows more energized and more alive through this pan. It's also terrible for you to be people pleased. So this was the other thing that really changed for me, because again, we're quite encouraged in our society to be people pleased. You know, we're quite encouraged, like if you think of celebrities and what MTV generation, like we were brought up on like worship false idols, you know. And the guides went on to explain that people pleasing is really bad for you because your shadow gets energized. But if you get people pleased a lot, the shadow is led. And so we have our kind of personal layers, and then we have the collective unconscious. And when you get people pleased a lot, your personal shadow layers get backed up with other people's energy. And that means that your sexual energy drops into the collective unconscious and starts operating from there. And so that's why gurus and celebrities start behaving in really strange ways. It's because of people pleasing. And so it's actually really important that you stop people from people pleasing you when you recognize it, that you call them out, you know, because otherwise your shadow gets energized, your stuff gets energized, and you stop operating from a place of love. And just to go into the time thing, so the first ever message I had about people pleasing was years before, when my guide said, if you're out of time, it's because you're people pleasing. And I was like, whoa, I am really out of time. Like, you know, I must be people pleasing a lot. But my guides only explained it to me tonight. Every time I touch this subject, more information comes through. It's amazing. My guides only explained the out of time thing to me tonight. They said that how you know you've people pleased is that, you know, that feeling where you don't have enough time. How you know you've people pleased is because of that feeling, because that feeling means that your life, so we always have enough time if we're in alignment, and alignment means your life force energy is in your body. Time holds space for you and your path. The feeling of being out of time is the feeling of being out of alignment, specifically because your energy is in someone else's shadow, because shadow is the out of time place. That's what the guides explained. This is why a lifetime from the 1300s or an ancestral wound can have an effect on you when it's in the shadow, because there is no time in the shadow. And so when you're feeling out of time, the first question you need to ask is, who have I people pleased? And we don't always people please our immediate people. Sometimes we're people pleasing our gran who's been dead for years, but we're operating from that on a in a child level. Sometimes we're people pleasing the universe. We don't always people please from an, you know, immediate people around us. But what people pleasing is you not being true to you. So we've been taught that people pleasing is being a good person. It isn't. Being a good person is being a good, like, doing nice things is fine if it's coming from your heart. People pleasing is when you don't want to do something, but you're doing it because you feel you're self-sacrificing yourself to the other person. You're going against yourself. And where it comes from is resonance. So we only people please people who we have a shadow resonance with. And this is why it's so important to understand the shadow with this particular pattern. Because for your energy to get into their shadow, there has to be resonance. So I don't know. In fact, I do know, because you're humans. All of you must have had people where you feel like you give your power away to them. And then other people where you see through their stuff and you don't give in to them and you're really empowered. And then there's someone else that just you're so quick to please them. Do we all have that? The people that you're quick to please, you have a shadow resonance with. There is a pathway for your energy to get in to their shadow. And it's through resonance, and it's through unloved resonance. So when I say resonance, say you've got a big mother wound and this person has exactly the same mother wound. That is what your energy is trying to do, and your subconscious is trying to do, is heal yourself. It's trying to fix. Why you're putting your energy into their shadow is you're trying to make them feel the love that they didn't feel, that they didn't get, because you resonate with it. And that's why when you notice yourself people pleasing, or just even on a regular basis, if you're feeling out of time, we have got to start doing the shadow processes and the shadow healings and calling in the power of stop. Like the guide said, stop is a big part of this webinar. But I hope that this has given you an understanding of this pattern, because even without doing the shadow work and the light chamber stuff and the things we're going to do, even knowing this information has made me so much less willing to people please. Because I'm just not like, when you know that you're going to energize someone's shadow, receive their shadow, like that you are. So when you've got that resonance, even though you're trying, it's the misuse of love energy, people pleasing. So even though you're trying to heal their love by sending your energy into their unlovedness, by sending your energy into their shadow, your energy cannot fix that. Like only their energy can fix it. And one of the most powerful things that I've experienced with this pattern since understanding it, and we'll do this as part of the healing, was realizing that actually I started to notice where I was inheriting people's shadows. So where I'd like suddenly their problem had become my problem, or their anxiety had become my anxiety. Even in relationships that I thought were relatively healthy, but this pattern is so subtle and subconscious that we do it all the time. And I realized that, you know, my energy being in their shadow, me having their shadow in me, was also stopping them from having their healing happen. Because your energy is just dead energy. It's just a block. It's just in the way. And when I pulled my energy out of their shadow and actually found the courage to give them their shadow back, even though it went against everything I'd been taught about love, they started to heal. They started to change because I wasn't holding their shadow anymore. And we'll go into it, but like it's really powerful to give people their shadow back because then they will start to feel it and look at it and face it, and only their love can heal those unloved wounds, like only your love can heal your unloved wounds.